Hey everyone, I'm Nate, and I thought I would take some time this evening. I'm putting up some bread and butter pickles. I call them Gertrude pickles. These are named after my paternal grandmother, Gertrude Tripp, who made the most wonderful bread and butter pickles. They're not too sweet. I don't like my bread and butter pickles too sweet, and they have a little more vinegar in them than what you find in the store, so they have kind of a tartness, but they have that wonderful bread and butter pickle taste with the celery seed and the mustard seed, and it's just a wonderful recipe. So I thought I would share it. So first, I started off by using this device here. It's a simple mandolin. I bought it at Walmart for like $10, and you can slice the cucumbers both in like 1/4 inch and, I don't know, slightly less than 1/4 inch. I do the thicker ones. It works well, and then they use this here to, when you get close to the blade. I have lost the tip of my thumb before, so use this when you get close. Pay attention. And I've already kind of started into this, but you can see I've sliced a goodly amount, probably about 20 or 22 cucumbers. And then I've also sliced 3 good-sized onions and 2 red bell peppers. And I'm about to do an entire head of garlic. I use quite a bit more garlic than the recipes that I've seen call for, but I use a lot of garlic when I do it. So I'm going to do the garlic now. So when I do the garlic, I just kind of do it, I just smash it down, and then once I do that, the stuff comes out, the peel comes off the garlic real fast. So you can do quite a bit of garlic this way, just kind of smashing down. Gets the peel off real quickly. Do a bunch of them at a time. And I keep a bucket here that I just throw all the waste in, and that all goes out in the compost bin when all this is over. Okay, I got these all peeled now. I just love garlic. It has wonderful healthful properties, and it just really enhances the taste of these pickles. Now, you can run these through a garlic press, but I kind of like the little chunks of garlic, so I chop them up. Garlic there. Now the next thing that happens is you need to coat this whole thing with some kosher salt. Alright, because this is there's so much here, I'm going to kind of separate this between 2 bowls. Alright. This salt is not as salty as regular table salt. Some of that on there. And some of this on here. And I'll just use my hands to coat this well. The cucumbers to be coated with the salt real well. I kind of bust the onions apart so they get coated real well. Peppers all coated up in there good. And you'll see this is going to sit for 3 hours coated with salt, and what it's going to do is suck a lot of the moisture out of the vegetables, and then you'll rinse it off. You know, you'll dump out all that moisture, all that water. It takes a lot of the water content out, I should say, and then you'll dump all that water off and rinse them off good to reduce the sodium content in the pickles. And then we'll go on to the next step. This is the last batch of cucumbers out of my garden for this season. I probably harvested about, I don't know, easily more than 100 cucumbers out of the garden, and they were wonderful for bread and butter pickles. They just turned out fantastic, exactly how I remember my grandmother's bread and butter pickles. Grandma Gertrude, Grandma Tripp. We all called her Gran, and she was wonderful. She was blessed with a great heritage. She loved things like bread and butter pickles and sliced ham and pie. Grandma loved sweets. But for pickles, she didn't like too sweet. All right, now I'm just going to dump these right back in here. Mixed up real well. Put that down. All right. Now, that's going to sit for 3 hours. 7:30, so at 10:30 that'll be ready to go. We'll put that over here. Sit. All right, 3 hours has passed, and I don't know if you can see this, but there's plenty of juice down in this water down in these cucumbers, and the salt has soaked a lot of it out. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these cucumbers and vegetables here, and I'm going to put them in the strainer and rinse them well to get most of the sodium content off. And then once that's all done, then we'll make the canning solution and we'll can it. The pickles. Okay, to rinse these out, you just do them a little bit at a time, and you just get them under the water, rinse them out well. Shake most of the water out you can. In the pan they go. Now I use about 30% more vinegar than what the recipe calls for, and I use about 60% less sugar than what they're. So I use 3.5 cups of vinegar, and I use only 2 cups of sugar. Bring that to a boil. Make sure that the sugar totally dissolves into the vinegar. Alright, that sugar's mixed in there well. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of mustard seed. Add 1.5 teaspoons of celery seed. And then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of whole cloves, which is really just 4 or 5 cloves. A lot. All right, and 1 tablespoon of ground turmeric. Turmeric is what gives it that lovely yellow color. Bread and butter pickle. Okay, we've got boiling juice here. Now we're going to add the pickle mixture into the liquid. I'm gently going to stir this so that we coat all of the pickle mixture with the juice. We're going to cook this until we bring it to just this side of a boil. You don't want to cook the pickles too much. You want to get them hot enough to where they're going to go right into the water bath mixture without cracking the glass. And also you kind of cook the solution into the pickles. We've got sterile jars. I do these in pints. I just take and shove the pickles down inside. Pack it down in. Oh, just turn the lid pop on the sauce. All right, once all the jars are filled with pickles, then take the juice and you fill the pickle jar up, and then you mash down, try and get all the bubbles out. All those bubbles come up. Get as much of that up as you can. Fill those jars up to within about 1/4 inch of the top of the liquid. Make sure you scrape the bottom and get the mustard seed. As much of that as you can. Okay, I was able to get 8 pints in that water bath. They'll in for about 10 minutes, and then those will be done. Okay, the fruit of my labor. 6 quarts of spaghetti sauce, 3 quarts of tomato juice, and 8 pints of bread and butter pickles.